Imagine you're partying on an island having the time of your life. Drinking with your friends, if you're really crazy, popping pills while you're drinking your 70 proof vodka shots. You feel absolutely terrible, so you decide to go back to your room and call it a night. You finally wake up and stumble out of your room, blood on the walls, bags all over the place. You walk out to the balcony to see the beautiful sight of the island of Benoi. But as you look out, a woman falls from above, scaring you. You freak out and try to leave, but you run into some undead people who chase you down the hallways and try to kill you. This is your first experience with Pathogen HK, and today we're going to see how it originated and what exactly it is that makes the zombie outbreak in Dead Island. Off the coast of Australia is an island named Papua New Guinea, which is home to a group of 4 people who would perform a ritual in which they ate the flesh of their deceased family and friends in order to bring life back into the tribe. The people that ate the brain of the dead or any meat involving the head would eat dangerous prions in the brain that had misfolded proteins that would infect your brain. This happened to a boy in the group who then contracted CJD, also known as Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, which can kill you in just a year's time. After the boy had passed, the tribe doing their standard ritual ate the boy, consuming his gray matter in the brain. The people started to get sick and ultimately created the disease known as Kuru. It got its name because in their language Kuru means to shake and or laughing disease, because people infected with Kuru would shake rapidly and would non-stop laugh. This outbreak lasted all the way from 1920 to 1960, when the tribe finally decided to shun the act of consuming their dead relatives, because they believe it was a curse from the bad spirits that they have consumed or angered the dead. With the cannibalistic tendencies being stopped, the numbers of infected dwindled down until it was completely gone around the times of 2005 to 2009. The virus can lay dormant in a person from anywhere between 5 to 45 years. It made its way to Benoi and merged with HIV in order to create a pathogen known as Pathogen HK. This is the virus in Dead Island. Pathogen HK causes immense pain in the person's body before eventually killing them, then reanimating them into what we know as zombies. These infected don't have a certain objective in mind, only to either spread the virus to make those who aren't infected, or kill any living thing in their sight, even in the brutalest of methods. But what can this virus do exactly? Well, depending on your lifestyle, kinda like the special infector from Left 4 Dead, the virus will mutate and give the infected powers, in a sense that they will have better methods and weapons to their disposal to kill or infect other people. The first stage of the infected is, well, known as infected. They will run at you and are very agile, also still needing organs to survive since they aren't technically dead yet, just a host for the virus. The second stage of them is when they become known as a walker. These are your typical George Romero zombies or the zombies from The Walking Dead. They are actually dead, so unlike their infected counterparts, they don't need organs to survive, only their brain. Striking them anywhere in the body that isn't the head isn't the best method of taking them down, only stumbling them since the brain is the thing that is keeping them alive and also where the virus actually lays. Stage 3 is when you become any of the special variants of the zombies. The Thug is probably the most common variant of Stage 3 you will see, with the pathogen HK probably mutating alongside the steroids within the host to create a beefy, roided out zombie that can punch you and send you flying, breaking bones in the process. The Suicider probably had tumors of some kind, and the virus mutated alongside them to become very bloated and a very fragile zombie. Hit with anything will cause them to explode, sending bone shrapnel and blood everywhere, which will most likely infect or kill you in the process. Coming anywhere near the Suicider will also cause it to explode due to the high amounts of anxiety the person had in their previous life. The Ram is not known how it originated, but looking at him, it looks like he was a mentally ill patient in an asylum of some sorts, giving his in a straitjacket. Since he can't use his arms or his mouth, the only option he has is to absolutely crush and demolish you, leaving anything in his path. Leveling. The Butcher will be the most scary mutation of the virus. It is also not known why they mutate this way, but they have their arms completely decayed down to the bone, with their bones being incredibly sharpened where they can rip you to shreds, limb by limb if they wanted to. The pathogen also mutated some chemical DNA inside them to where they can heal any damage dealt to them, but the killing blow to the head is unhealable. But all of those, except for the Thug, were pretty rare to spot. But some that would be a little uncommon would be a couple of zombies that use the environment to their advantage. A quick example is that some of them will hide in stalls to strike at the right time given you made a noise or something. Some will act dead so that when you walk by or try to examine them they will strike at you. But some, also known as drowners, will hide in the water and as you walk by them they will try and drag you down and pin you under the water. This will be a very hard fight for you to win. If you don't drown in the process of this, you will most likely be scratched or bitten by the drowner, causing you to become infected. But there is actually a way to survive all of this. But you have to be an extremely, extremely lucky person. If you are born with the O negative blood type, you will survive pathogen HK. I've tried doing research and it's unknown why having this blood type makes you immune. However, being bitten by an infected while having this blood type won't change you into the flesh-hungry dead of Dead Island, but will instead turn you into a carrier just like the survivors in Left 4 Dead. This means coming in contact with anyone who doesn't have the O-negative blood type will become infected and turn. Pathogen HK is a mix of two real-world diseases that we have in the real world. Kuru, which you wouldn't contract Kuru. It hasn't been around since 2009, like I said. But HIV, if Kuru and HIV ever did actually meet up and they had a baby and created the pathogen HK virus that we see in Dead Island, it would be an absolute scary mess for the entire world. But I do not ever see that happening. So I think we're all pretty much safe from that. This was also an extremely quick video. I did not expect it to be that quick. It took a long time to make. But I do want to give a shout out to I want to shout out one of my friends who is also trying to get a little content thing started. Brianna Marie 037 on TikTok. Check her out, give her a follow. She's a really nice person. She does pretty cool content and stuff. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful day.